Welcome to a Prevent Connect podcast, where we explore the prevention of violence against women. This is a project of the California Coalition Against Sexual Assault.
I'm so excited that this year we have our friends from Guam we have two presenters that are sharing their time. So this is a test, right? So we are so excited to have them join us today, and they are going to be talking about It Takes a Village for Successful Prevention Partnerships.
All right, thank you, Jen. And half a day, my name is Silverio. I work for the Guam Department of Public Health and Social Services. And yes, we'll be talking about why it takes a village for effective prevention partnerships. And today with me, we have Cynthia Cabot. She's the director of one of our partners in Guam, the Guam Coalition Against Sexual Assault and Family Violence. Half a day means hello, aloha. It's our universal greeting on Guam. So we want to share that half a day from halfway around the world. So we're really pleased to be here today. English and Chamorro are both the official languages of Guam. So we're really, really happy to be here and let you have a peek of who we are. So if I could draw your attention to the screens, on a clear day you can see Guam. Guam is very small. 212 square miles in area, 31 miles long, and only 4 to 8 miles wide. And if you look really carefully at the northern tip of the island and the center part, you could see 2 airports. That gives you the scale of what the size is of Guam. It's very small. You could see the airports from 5 miles in the air. Guam is in the upper left-hand quadrant of this map, and we are not a South Pacific island, we're a North Pacific island. So here's a really quick tour for you, okay? Guam is only a 5-hour plane ride from Australia. So many of us know where Australia is. It's that large green landmass on the lower left-hand quadrant. If you look directly up, you'll see Guam, very tiny, right? That's how small we are. And many of our neighbors in Guam and the region, they migrate to Guam for improved opportunities for education, for healthcare, for a better life than they have in their current islands. And we have so many exotic places that you can visit around us. And many of those folks are very unique. For example, in the Solomon Islands, 10% of the people there are blonde. Right? And in Fiji, one of the islands, the international date line actually cuts right on top of the landmass. So you could be standing on Saturday and Sunday at the same time, right? Now, if you look at the map very carefully, that's 2.5 million square miles of ocean and island mass. If you superimpose the United States outline, it would fit inside this frame. So we have a huge area of the Pacific that we cover. Now, if you are like Cynthia and myself, and you flew here, if you take a plane ride from Washington, D.C. to California, and then go on to Hawaii, 7 hours later, you'll end up in Guam, right? So it's about a 24-hour plane ride with minimal stops. So we have to run from gate to gate just to get here, right? But this makes our island extremely vulnerable. We are at the epicenter for many of the earthquakes and typhoons that happen in the Pacific. Not only that, but our enemies in North Korea and China have openly said that Guam will be the first of the places they will ever attack in case there's a nuclear war. That means Guam could be annihilated. See how small we are in a matter of minutes. In a matter of minutes. You will never find this division of land in any state or territory that you live in now. 1/3 of our tiny island is owned by the federal government. 1/3 is owned by the government of Guam, and 1/3 is privately owned. That is significant. The federal government also declared that most of the water surrounding our tiny island, they're wildlife preserves. So we cannot fish, we cannot live off our own waters. Who are we? We are very diverse, a very proud, multicultural, multilingual group of people on the island. We live in a very small part of our community, but we have our challenges as well. It's marvelous in its diversity and culture. Culture has a direct impact on the reporting of sexual assault cases on Guam, because many times we don't want to encourage sexual assault or family violence reporting because most of the perpetrators are known to us. They're our brothers and sisters now. They're our fathers and mothers now. And they're often the breadwinners of our families, and in our culture, we never shame anyone, no matter how guilty they may be. Guam has 1 million visitors a year, and it's growing to 1.2 million. So if you do the quick math, that means that at any given month, we have 120,000 visitors on the island. We have a base population of 165,000. So you do the quick math, that's nearly 300,000 people on 1/3 of the island. What does that mean? First of all, we're very vulnerable because of our nuclear attacks from our enemies. We also have now a robust tourist industry, which means we have human trafficking, which means we have prostitution and human rights violations and sexual assault. Okay? They go hand in hand in our tropical paradise island. This also means that in our celebration of our culture, we have very unique prevention partnerships to address sexual violence.
Thanks, Al. You just left me 1 minute.
It's a very long 1 minute.
But in any case, Guam does face a myriad of factors that may impact on Guam's rates of sexual assaults, such as language, cultural practices, socioeconomic and political factors. On Guam, we do not refer to our communities as cities, towns, or counties. We have villages, 19 in all, and each village includes everyone, including survivors and the perpetrators, the abusers. To effectively address sexual assault in Guam, we rely heavily on our community partners, both public and private. It is these relationships that we have fostered through the years that emphasize the back to prevention as key to making a difference. Our community action teams are comprised of many federal and local government agencies, including the military, educational institutions, many nonprofit service providers, as well as our survivors. We engage everyone in prevention through community outreach efforts, our social networking, and online connections. We participate in special events, such as the Liberation Day Parade, with a float seen by tens of thousands of Guam's residents. During Sexual Assault Awareness Month, we held a joint proclamation signing and legislative resolution with the Governor's Office, Guam's non-voting congressional delegate, the legislature, representatives from all branches of the military, cabinet members, and over 250 community stakeholders at this annual event. It is with knowing more that we focus on prevention as we raise awareness of services as hope, and we aim for freedom from the violence. Another example I'd like to point out is our Laniquet Task Force, which was established by legislative mandate. Task Force adopted and adapted a school-based sexual assault prevention curricula from the Sex Abuse Treatment Center in Hawaii. The Attorney General and staff trained over 300 school personnel from K to 12 to implement the curricula in all our public schools on Guam, supported in part by the RP&E funds, of which Guam only receives $35,000. In addition, the coalition was awarded, thank you to Reliance, a grant that will be used to expand the training of personnel and implementing this curricula to our private schools by June 2017. Our prevention efforts continue. The coalition also received recently an award from the Office of Women's Health Campus Sexual Assault Policy and Prevention Initiative grant to support college campuses on Guam. Being that we didn't have the minimum of 8 college campuses, we included CNMI in Saipan, American Samoa, and other U.S. affiliated Pacific Island jurisdictions, namely the Republic of Palau, the Federated States of Micronesia, and the Republic of the Marshall Islands. We have quite a task ahead of us. We have much to share, yet as Guam's setting sun reminds us that our time is limited, we know that prevention of opportunities abound as we reach out beyond our horizon. So if you can't come to Guam, come join us at our round table. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to this Prevent Connect podcast. Prevent Connect is a project of the California Coalition Against Sexual Assault, with funding from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The views presented on Prevent Connect are not necessarily the views of the United States government, the CDC, or CalCASA. To learn more about Prevent Connect, visit www.preventconnect.org. For more information about CalCASA's mission, or to show your support, visit calcasa.org. That's CalCasa.org.